Welcome students to class 7. Let's start with the first chapter of history, that is tracing changes through 1,000 years. Students, we'll start with introduction. The period from the second half of the 8th century up to first half of the 18th century is known as the medieval periods of Indian history. That means in this class you will be understanding about medieval history. In the previous classes you have read about ancient history, okay? In this you will be going through medieval period. So the maps of Arab geographers Al-Idris and French cartographer give a large sketch of Indian continents, okay? This you have to remember with new and old terminologies. Historical records exist in varieties of languages. Yes, it is true. It is written in varieties of languages. We have historical records in variety of languages. The term Hindustan was coined by Minhaj-e-Siraj, a chronicler who wrote in Persian for areas around Punjab and Haryana. So, the term Hindustan was coined by Minhaj-e-Siraj, a chronicler who wrote in Persian. Okay, who wrote this in Persian. And the land between the Ganga and the Yamuna. Okay, this was written for Punjab, Haryana and the lands between the Ganga and the Yamuna. Then what? Babur used Hindustan to describe the flora and fauna and the culture of the inhabitants of subcontinents. Now what? Now Babur used Hindustan to describe flora and fauna. What is a flora and fauna? That is plants and animals and the culture of inhabitants of the subcontinent. 14th century poet Amir Khusrau. 14th century poet Amir Khusrau used the word Hind. Now again Amir Khusrau used in 14th century as Hindustan as Hind. In Hindi, the term Pardesi was used to describe an alien. So, and in Persian, it was called Ajnabi. Okay. See, now we are going to know that from which language which word came. So, in Hindi we can say alien. Okay. In Persian we say Ajnabi. Historians and their sources. Now we will be knowing about historians and their sources from where we get the information. The information about the medieval period is derived from two sources. Sources from where we get the medieval period's information, that is archaeological and literary. Okay, it is not literary, it is literacy. Literary. Archaeological sources available to us include monuments, temples, coins, tombs, ornaments and paintings. What are the archaeological sources? You must remember, it is very easy. Monuments, temples, coins, tombs, ornaments and paintings. Okay. Then since paper become available in good quantum, a lot of written accounts in the form of chronicles, autobiographies, ferments and accounts of foreigner travels are available for this period in Persian and Arabic. So now what happened? Later in medieval period, paper become available in good quantity. So there is also available written accounts. Okay, in which forms? In the form of autobiographies, chronicles, ferments and accounts of foreign travelers. All these are available in which language? In Arabic and Persian. Okay. New social and political groups. Now in medieval period, what is the next? What is the next new information we are going to get? The study of the 1,000 years between in year 700 years and 1750 is a huge challenge to historians, largely because of the scale and varieties of development that occurs over the period. It was a period of great mobility. One such group of people was Rajputs. Other groups of warriors were Marathas, Sikhs, Jat, Ahoms and Kayasth. Now what happened? They are saying that this great 1000 years, in between this there is a huge challenge to historians. That means there is a varieties of development. They become some groups. What are they? Rajputs. And warriors, other groups are of warriors like Marathas, Sikhs, Jats, Kayasth, Ahoms. Okay. Throughout the period, there was a gradual clearing of forest and the extension of agriculture. And what happened in the medieval period? There was clearing of forest and the setting of agricultural fields. Challenges in their habitat forced many forest dwellers to migrate. And what happened? Many forest dwellers have to migrate due to the challenges in their habitats. Okay. As society became more differentiated, people were grouped into jatis or subcastes and ranked on the basis of their background and their occupation. And the next development that come in medieval period was that they become groups. That means caste groups. And they were categorized and ranked according to their background and their occupation. That means they were ranked on the basis of their job. Okay. Ranks were not fixed permanently and varied according to the power, influence and resources controlled by members of the jati. Then what happens? Rank was not permanent. Like in class, rank is not permanent that if one student got the highest mark, that he will be only getting the highest mark in next exam. So that rank is not permanent. It changes as the power, influence and resources changes. A major development of this period was the emergence of the idea of bhakti. And the major development of this period was the emergence of bhakti. Bhakti, all you know. Okay. The teaching of the Holy Quran was also brought to India in the 7th century. And the teaching of Holy Quran come in 7th century. Okay. In 7th century, Holy Quran was brought in India. Followers of Islam were divided into two subsections. What are they? Shia and Sunnis. At different moments in this period, new technologies made their appearance like Persian wheel in irrigation, the spinning wheel in weaving, and firearms in combat. New foods and beverage also arrived in the subcontinent in this period. Now what are the other developments? That is in irrigations, the spinning wheel in weaving and firemen in combat. And also new food and beverage are also arrived. We have to study it very deeply. So just go through these notes. Then we'll continue with our next part in next video.